Depends where it is. I don't know. Yo. Streaming the World Cup. I got 6,200. Peely is on quite a bit. No. I'm playing the game. Nah. I want to carry on playing this game, try and get a high score. They're on 92.7. I'm on 7,000. What? What? I have to ask her. Oh, Callum says everything. Yeah. Nice. I got such a good score. I've got 13k. No, they're practicing. They won't be playing this. If they're doing World Cup, they ain't gonna be playing a game. They're gonna be practicing. No, because why would they want to watch the World Cup? They're not gonna click on it to watch the World Cup, are they? Yeah, so they're gonna be practicing and stuff. No. Nah, not really. Start video. Yeah, it's starting it. They're starting it now. two. Oh, it's 2:32, and then it's more. Wait, yeah, 2:30.
All done! Yay!
Day one's done!
World Cup finals over, guys.
No.
Okay? I won everything.
Yeah, I just want to let you know.
That's it. I'm gonna leave the party anyway. Alright, sorry about that.
It's actually Kitty Boys! Boom! Right there! You know, it's not easy making this look good. Go meet up with Monique, the makeup artist, to see how she gets all this done.
No, I don't like that guy, Zeke. He's such a... Oh, hey! Hi, I'm Mo. I'm the makeup artist. I'm the one that makes these nerds look beautiful. Oh, Zeke. Sorry, let me just reel.
There's two people that don't get nearly enough love. They are the people who operate the cameras, and I'm going to introduce you to them right now.
That's Allison. That's Mahoney. That's Mo.
Hi!
Touched on right there is when he gets knocked out with that RPG, instantly rips. Oh my goodness, that was
north, you know, setting up their cottage, setting up their homes.
take 3, take 5, take 4, and 5 minute game!
Ready off 5, ready off 6, take off 6.
Keep on one!
Ready off 3, take off 3. Ready off 10, take off 10. Take off 5, take off 6. Take off 3.
And cut. Keep up the good work.
Are we gonna do a Fortnite? Wait, come on. Let's do a hookie. Let's do a hookie at 3. 1, 2, 3.
We have a post-show pinata.
Right now, see. I'm right in the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the continued coverage of the Fortnite World Cup Open Online Qualifiers. We are in solos, week 9, the last chance to qualify for one of the biggest competitive gaming events ever, live from New York City, the World Cup Finals. Cannot wait for it to kick off. The action today has been fantastic. And guess what? I've got great news for you. We have one of the most talented, handsome, well-spoken, loved, positive people I've ever met in Sundown, and Dr. Lupo.
Thank you so much for that, Jack. Honestly think that's the most genuine and heartwarming thing that you would challenge me to find any drip of sarcasm in that. But I am Sundown, joined here by Dr. Lupo, and we're about to get you into the final moments of the European region for the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifiers. I mean, it's been absurd so far.
The only time I think I could get Jack to say anything positive about me is if I covered my body in chicken parmesan, but we do have games ready to go. We're going to knock Europe out of the park. Hopefully we got some shenanigans from them. It's been good games already so far today. This is the last week of solo qualifiers, which means the pressure is high. The tension, it's insane. Because if you're not going to make it as a solo qualifier right now, you're not going to make it as a solo qualifier ever. This is it.
Yeah, this is it for the first Fortnite World Cup, and now you can see Mongrel, the player who everyone thought, oh yeah, he's gonna qualify. Well, now we're here, week 9. Is he gonna qualify? Currently sitting in the 3rd place, just behind Crew, and he pushes right on in and takes away everything from Hawkers. You can go queue back up, try and get your last matches in, as we have 25 minutes left in the region.
So Mongrel has been seen as one of the top performers in Europe, if not the entire world, since the World Cup began. If you had to pick 3 things from his play style, Sundown, I know you watch so much competitive Fortnite, what would you say the 3 most important things that he does as a player? What are they?
The 3 most important things he's done are, 1, when he looks to go aggressive, how he shoots first. Like, yes, we talk about how good he is at building, but that's because he puts himself in the position. When he goes to drop down and be aggressive, he's looking to hit his first shot and then trail it up right away. And because he's already aiming in those spots, he's more than likely to hit those headshots, hits the reactions. The second thing, when he decides to rotate, the timing at which he goes enables him to play more aggressive and to catch other people as they rotate. And then secondly, what he does after he gets an elim, he's always looking for another one. It's never pause, go do something else. Gotcha. It's immediately go find someone else, find the next target, whether I need to cover myself from them or whether I need to go aggressive.
Love to see it. Appreciate your insight on that. That's why we keep you around, plus the luscious locks of hair, obviously, like a real-life Viking.
I hope so. I definitely think in a past life was a Viking somewhere, but now Wolfie's trying to be a Viking here and push right on over into the 1x1. Gonna opt against it and instead just raid and pillage that elim away. Crinkle going down there as we now hit top 30. So top 30, Storm Circle 6. So incredibly tense zone and less than a minute till it comes to a close. Everyone's gonna have to rotate past Wolfie's right here as 2 more go down and we get closer to the first placement threshold.
3 more before you hit that top 25. Rift to go, 2 launch pads, even a flintlock potentially as a mobility weapon here. Wolfie's sitting on honestly a pretty solid kit. We've seen the flintlock as one of the most used, versatile weapons in Fortnite right now. I don't think there's been anything that's come close to it, to be quite honest with you. It serves so many purposes. We said before, on the cast, just to make sure that people understand, it really is it's a very important loadout piece for players that know that they're going to be playing inside boxes versus others that potentially have to fall down from above, especially if they don't have a redeploy. They've got a weapon that can stop them if they have 2 builds and catch themselves on the low ground before they hit the bottom and take all that fall damage. Applying pressure from underneath right now. Wolfie's trying to drop in his opponent. Quick replace the floor. Wolfie's looks like it was be over there to the top left. Mongrel rotating the top right of your screen for just a moment. 2 more players need to go down before we hit the threshold. I'm thinking at some point we're going to see a Rift to go here from Wolfie's to reposition. Trying to bait out shots just like that. Sly Clement on the rotation. Does not realize Wolfie's is hiding inside the box. Here we go. Pulls the Rift out and pops it.
Yep, and he makes sure he's on the backside of the circle, scouts everyone else. They're not letting anybody else on a free Rift, and also just going to pop his parachute and hang out because it's 26, boom, 25, so everyone getting the 3 points there. And now let's take a look at the rest of the lobby. Keemstar on the low ground, has already double qualified. Stompy as well now on board with Mitro here as he gets taken out by Lord Rohat, and that is monstrous. Did get the 3 points for the top 25, but not going to get any more. Mix and Stompy on the low ground. Nuji's Kaizen is about to go down as all of a sudden, and now we're into the top 15. That was Mongrel. I apologize for speaking there. Stompy goes down as well. So nice little spree from Wolfie's all of a sudden. Up to 6 elims. You see Martaz also still in the lobby as we get closer to the top 10. Wolfie's continuing to take shots here, but not finding anything right now. Player next to him does own that wall, so just going to go 1 over.
Wolfie's an excellent example of timing the shot, timing the push. Doesn't have to move out too far ahead of the circle if he doesn't want to. You do get a little bit of that leeway. You have a chance to look back exactly as he's doing now and look for chances to take shots at players that are still on the move. Some shots from up above, that combat shotgun range, very effective. Basically the perfect range to scope in, ADS, take those shots, see if he can get full damage on it. Shot from above, third-party opportunity at the fish down below. Is he going to pick it up? And he does indeed, up to 41. 3 players left. Wolfie's at 41.7 eliminations. A big game already. Launch pad's going to kind of be useless. A jump shot around the corner. Wolfie's picks up another elim. Looking at 8 right now, and he's in a 1v1 all the way up top. The player dropping in. Spoiler. Looking for any chance he can. Take an opportunity to take a shot. 25 builds. Both players sitting on about the same amount of material, so it's going to go into a heads-up 1v1 here. Someone's going to drop in on the other. Wolfie's might make a climb before too long. Does have the flintlock and the launch pad if he wanted to do it. But just baiting the timing on a shot might be the most important play right now.
One thing to note, though, spoiler, has the high ground, also has 5 bandages and the campfire. If it goes to a full close, which happens in 45 seconds, he will have the advantage. But I don't think we're going to get there. Wolfie's goes up with the flintlock. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner, gets the first shot. Now has the shield advantage, but loses the HP advantage as Spoiler puts himself back on the low ground. Spoiler in the top right, Wolfie's in your bottom right. You can see the action on the wide. Here's that slight slight elevation change that's going to force Spoiler out. He goes out in the open. Wolfie, 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Spoiler running out of builds, and Wolfie with the high ground retake from that flint knock, and he throws a tomato and the L dance at him afterwards, saying, that's my victory royale.
Both players running out of materials at the last second, basically forced an engagement. The height advantage, I think, in my opinion, paid off the most, especially because you got a player forced out into the storm to try and go for a shot. That flint knock play to push yourself up in the air, such a versatile weapon. Well played there.
I feel like we've seen so much more flint knock this week in particular. I don't know if it's because of the slight adjustment to the shotgun drop rates compared to the last solo week, but players are opting and carrying it a lot later and using it not only as the mobility component, which we've seen a lot of, but a lot more aggressively, like people pushing into boxes with flint knocks. 100%. We saw that last victory royale with it, and really enjoyed seeing the different types of utility. I know you were saying how it's probably one of the most versatile weapons. I'd argue probably second only to the heavy sniper in terms of that, just because the heavy sniper literally does everything at all points in times. But I mean, just with how good these guys are with the flint, like I could pick up a heavy sniper and get a couple elims, like that's fine. Most of the players can because it's 150 the body, but these guys make the flint knock looks just so good.
I feel like the heavy sniper is the #1 weapon for assisting other weapons and getting eliminations. Rocket into a heavy snipe, even a double heavy sniper pushing in, take a wall, push in and shotgun. The flint knock has the movement mechanic on top of it, but it can't, like you said, it can't do things that the heavy sniper can do. You can't remove a wall with it on the spot. You can't chain it into other weapons. The flint knock, though, is you catch yourself with it. Both weapons, though, are crazy.
1A, 1B. How about that? There
exactly.
You go.
Exactly.
But yeah, I definitely do agree with you. The heavy sniper enabling others and giving you a long range component. But Airwalk's right there.
Top awareness. Just love to see it.
Disables Amsdalo and gets everything from it, but needs to circle back and try and get that chug and pop it like now if he wants the HP to get off of that.
50 and 83, not too bad. Will still go down to a heavy snipe to the body. Got to look out for that. Looking for the quick angle change here. He might rotate out into the storm if he can flip this. If needed, the player still sitting right through that corner. You see he's checking through the brick, holding the edit on his own ramp. Closes the outside out, decides to rotate down underneath. Take the chance here to just box up a little bit, opting not to push that player. You can't really tell how much HP and shield they potentially have, so if he does go out there, he doesn't see what we see. Only 100, maybe 99 HP. Gross in there, but Airwalk's probably, I mean, the player of this caliber could easily push in a 96 in the follow-through, like we said. There's a pickup. Rock's got up to 3 now, 32 points, and a ton of builds.
Yeah, and he got the Shadow Bomb for it, which for this longer rotation is going to be huge.
Just the one, though.
Yeah.
Just the one.
Just the one, and is going to pop it early. Also notice you can see that Storm Surge threshold on the right side. So what Storm Surge is, once you get into these later circles for circles 6 and 7, if there's more than 30 people left in the lobby, if you have been the passive player, Storm Surge will begin to punish you. You will start taking 10 damage every second as it comes out through. Once those strikes come on down, and now it turns off since we're below the 30 player threshold. So now just all about the elims and the rotation, since we're not even at the placement thresholds yet.
I just want to point out quick too, as you said, for passive players, Airwalk's definitely an example of not a passive player. He was 500, a little over 500 damage above the threshold, which is insane. And it's shots like that, 80 to the back on the fish on rotation, that kept him safe from Storm Surge. Crusher goes down. Airwalks picks up his 4th elimination. One more elim. We get to the placement points here of the top 25. Going to pick up 3 there. Get to top 15, that's 5. Top 5, that's 7. And that Victory Royale is 10. Reminding everybody, if you're just jumping into the stream, maybe you haven't heard what the format is like, always going to kind of refresh that in your memory. All the way up on high ground, looked like that might have been Skype. I'm not sure if dropped in. I'm not seeing him. I believe that was him all the way up there. Number of players, though, 25 heading into the 8th circle soon, as advised. 1 elimination, 35 points. No movement here. Bandages for late game, but that's not going to pay off right now. That is going to pay off. Carrera goes down. Another one, the follow-through, finds Ghosts on the move. Looking for the 3rd. The triple gets it. Exon down. 4 eliminations now for Advise. Playing absolutely incredibly. The heads up right now. You'll love to see it.
Oh, baby, a triple. Well done right there. And that was Skype up on the high ground. You saw him now just drop back down with a number of players going up, getting closer to that second placement threshold. Skype picks up Yahtzee. Mick the Beast also in this lobby, another player who we've seen constantly in the top 5, desperately trying to get a solo spot, because again, this is the last week. Kazrola does get ticked over by that storm change. Again, 60 seconds
Such a long
if you
time.
damage someone. Random siphon coming through, and we're into the top 15 now with Airwalks on the mid tarp and looking for more targets.
Imagine a situation you get a tag on someone and 50 seconds later they get eliminated by the storm. You get that siphon at just the right moment. Could be so clutch. The timing could be so important on that. 11 players left, 10 now as Sky goes down to the feed. Swaggy picks one off. 6 eliminations for Airwalks. Push through this wall, find a player on the rotation from behind. Back-to-back shots, takeoffs, gets eliminated. Airwalks picks up another one.
He's doing so well at finding people on the edge of the storm, getting next to him, and then just dipping out for a second. But the one thing you notice, he never dips out into the storm for longer than enough to take more than one tick. It does take a second to go through, and Majestic actually just picked up a triple of his own because of those storm changes. One player he elimed, 2 got ticked over from the storm. That should be the player potentially up on the high ground, but now we have our top 5. Airwalks, 2 builds left, is running with that campfire now, but is sitting on 7 elims. Advise all the way up on the high ground. Majestic was on the low ground with Mick the Beast. Airwalks in the bottom right-hand corner gets traded out by Mick the Beast. Zadek drops down in the shadow form. He's not jumping around, so the player doesn't know where he is. 80 to the body. Can he find it? Pushes through with the combat. Says, I don't need a pickaxe. I'll just take your wall anyway. Brilliantly done there, but now can he win the 1v1 from the low ground? Player is 1 box directly above him. He hears it. You see the fake ramps out. He goes up, edit off the side, takes the high ground, drops down on top of 1, 2, 3. He gets it.
Literally waiting till the last second. The fake out on the ramp with just, I think he had 1 build left at the last second. So he was literally the most, almost the most efficient he could possibly be with all the materials that he had left. Opts to move up a different ramp, throw his opponent off, drop in from above. Excellent high ground take, excellent push with the combat shotgun, and the victory royale. You love to see it.
Well done there from Zadek now. You see Marcotte and Fool right on the edge of the zone. An intense little 1v1 right now. Trap does go down defensively. Fool saying, I'm having absolutely none of that. You can see he wants to try and get the materials that are there. Trap does get broken on the other side by Marcotte, and now you get a nice little box fight. So this is one of the things, if you want to learn how to get good at competitive Fortnite, learn to fight from a box. Blows the whistle, says it's time to go.
The whistle to signal the push. Honestly, oh, that's very funny. Push in there. Fool gets 2 taps there. The shotgun follows through a 92 crit. Gets him the elimination. Gonna double back, pick up the rest of that wood, anything that he can top off with. Oh, shots coming in from the sides. Gonna have to wall himself off, double air, and ops instead of popping the minis to shadow bomb, just because I think the fear of positioning there and exposure. Maybe adding a little too much attention. Did take 1 more tap on the move. Gonna have a chance to heal up. Meanwhile, the top of this hill, thick with players. Where they stacked up trying to make rotation here. 41. Waxy there from the stream. Trick Pog taken forward.
Crew also in the match was second last time we saw him there. We got a number of duo qualifiers over on the side there. Players looking to get their solo spot. You see Kuma using the stink to try and force the player forward and then editing out. Boom, there goes the second one, knowing they can't stack in volume. And Quadra, that one smells. Go get yourself a gas mask. Try and queue back up.
Good, when you're sitting on 3 elims now, holding the edit. Just gonna try and peek on through, deciding to apply a little more pressure. Oh my gosh, the back-to-back. The stink bombs, very lethal, especially at this point in the game. You have to realize these players understand if there's people that were caught rotating, got tagged up significantly, and didn't have the ability to heal, as will be the case quite often in games like this, where you have so many people in such a tight space. There's a good chance that people that are boxed up in front of you are potentially missing HP, maybe some fall damage, maybe they got hit by multiple people on rotation. They could have been, I mean, we even saw a Shadow Bomb player get shot just moments before that, and we're about 50 HP. That is a good opportunity to just chuck the stink in there, maybe do an HP check, see if they're low, and in this case, it pays off. 2 eliminations with basically no effort. And as you said before, we're looking to get the player count down to 30 before that storm surge goes away. We're sitting at 38 above for Dave, 32 players left, so 2 more need to go down.
Boxes the baller in. The baller is going to just boost right on out, says I want nothing to do with that. Now you can see on the side, Dave getting another tag there. You see that threshold number also going up. Needs to be conscious. He left that edit open, but the player, because his back is to the storm, isn't going to have time to take shots towards him. So well played from Dave. Other player pushes it, and Tripburn from Singularity kind of caught a little bit there. Seemed like he was going for an aggro play, but
I think potentially he expected Dave to not look back because, the catch. Good grab there. Tripburn, I feel like was thinking, okay, Dave's not looking at me. I'm just going to step out. I have the angle. I'm going to take the shots from this side. And ended up kind of getting clapped very quickly. Dave's reaction, rotation down there. I'm not sure how to say that name. I'm just going to put that out. It looks like a sneeze. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not even. I normally even try and attempt on that, but we're in the top 25. Let's pay attention to the rotations. As you see, a number of players playing billiards there on the low ground. Crew up on the high ground. You have WGS Jag, the player from South Korea, playing over in Europe right now. This is the most ballers I've seen in the lobby in forever.
The most ballers I've seen in a game easily this weekend.
I mean, I don't think we saw this many ballers in Europe when they were at 300 health. Europe has an affinity or like a particular hatred towards ballers rolling around.
We've made comments in the past about how they always seem to be fans of taking shots at players that are in ballers on the move when they have an opportunity to. Maybe a follow through here, the back-to-back. Can't quite find it. But yeah, look at how many are left out on the field. This is a very rare sight for European qualifiers.
I mean, and it kind of compounds on top of itself because the more players who are in ballers, they aren't going to take shots at each other. And if you're not going to waste shots on baller players, you're not going to eliminate them. So, but once the explodes start coming out, that's when things get dicey because the RPGs can damage through the ballers, and with the 150 HP, one AR round into them and then followed by an RPG can be a ton of damage. But now Pill is just going to go to work, ignore the ballers on the low ground, running around like they're a game of marbles, and he finds Trockley and he finds Elocrats right after.
13 players left. Till in the rotation here, taking a chance to pop a mini. Does have the campfire, may or may not put it down. Not at this point. The storm's too close to his back. He's gonna have to push forward. Like you said, multiple ballers are still in play, and with players not jumping out and not having pressure applied to them, you're looking at way less than 11 people. The player count remaining, that's not the number that are actually forced to engage each other right now. The people in ballers are almost being ignored. The heavy snipe from behind, and Mab Joe picks up and Elim, the push inside. He realizes look at how many people are around in the same box.
And then said everybody goes up to the sky. No Elim coming out there. So all of a sudden, 3 up, 7 down. Talazeto on the ultimate high ground. Wesley Nutt and Blackso on the low ground. Jag, ADX also on the mid tarp. Talazeto looking for shots. Has redeploy and the flint knock. Not going to find any. So ultimate high is going to be in his control. 10 players left, but he gets challenged.
One more all the way in the high ground. Just barely lost it. The flint knock flying up above. What a play. Takes the high ground back. Has ultimate high, looking down from above, only 29 builds. Has the redeploy to catch himself if he has to jump off, if he runs out of materials, but we'll see here in a second.
Somebody else just went up.
Yep, you heard it. There it is, the fish flying past. Felizito might take a shot. The flint knock kind of gets stuck in his own box for a second. This ADX dropping in Mexi from Loot Boy in the middle of your screen there. Tolzito still has the high ground, drops down to the next tarp. Mexi building out, trying to stay in the safe zone. This is the most players we've seen in a zone this tight in a long time. The Rift.
That's one. Is one player up in the rift. So you have one player up in the sky. Talazeto on ultimate high ground. Power, Psyches, and Blackso down the low. You have Talazeto in your top right. Power in your bottom right. Talazeto looking for it, and he finds Mexi out of the sky, and he gets the Cypher. Now he's dropping down with the redeploy, looking for Psychic on the campfire, and he finds it. Gets the Siphon, and it's enough to put him over the top for the victory royale. Talazito, you are mad indeed. The 2 Elims being the swing. 12 points there. Well done, sir.
The transition of the shot with the flint knock midair into an immediate descend, the redeploy to catch himself, and then the swap to the TAC AR and spray through the build while the player was sitting on top of both campfires. 200 IQ.
That was really well played from Talazeto. That's probably some of the best overall flint knock usage we've seen. We took high ground, I think, twice.
You did.
Going there, and then additionally picked up a sick Elim on the player out of the air with that heavy shot, and then dropped down. I mean, just well done.
Literally, you were saying he was unchallenged for high ground, immediately got challenged, and then used the flint knock on a single build out to take it back and force the player to drop. Well played. Well played indeed. What a loadout for the late game, too. Anyway, 43 players left. Next game, Europe.
42 players left.
42 players remaining. I just shouldn't say it sometimes. Looking for 41 players remaining here in a second. Someone trying to pick up another one. That was the first elimination for this player this game. By the way, quick reminder, 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. If you would like to queue in, you're in the European region, now's the time to do it. Those last couple in. This is the last week for solos to qualify to punch that ticket to New York City. Don't forget it.
And after that, there's no more solo spots. 8 more players will be advancing from Europe. We'll have 6 from NA East, 2 from